Hello, everyone. So welcome to kind of like doTERRA 101, Essential Oils 101. I want to start off with saying that as we posted in the group page, doTERRA literally means gift of the earth. When the founders created doTERRA, they wanted to bring the best quality, best product of the earth. And so they came up with the name doTERRA. And so, sorry, I'm switching back and forth between two computers. What we're going to kind of go over really is the 10 basic oils that are the most popular, that most people use every day. Might touch on a couple of other ones. We've touched on a couple of blends like Serenity. Kayla uses Serenity. So we might touch on those a little bit towards the end. And then we'll tell you really how you get these in your home. There's a way that you can get them in your home. There's a couple different ways. However, the great thing is that you order them. You have the power to reorder them when you want to reorder them. So as I looked over kind of some people, what their interests were in the oils, some things I got were migraines, allergies. Some of you have children, emotions. Some of you have babies on the way, so you're looking for some support during pregnancy as well as after. Some have dogs. I use them a lot with my dogs every day, but also from sleep support, digestive support, muscle recovery. So I'll try to touch on how the 10 oils can help support those. And then when my part of the class ends, this will be up until Wednesday, so you can watch it again, post questions, talk to Kayla, post questions for myself, whichever you'd like to do. And so the one thing is that, oils are starting to become more popular, I guess. However, they have been around for thousands of years. And we reach way back into Egyptian, Roman times. Even, the story of the baby Jesus, frankincense and myrrh were brought to Mary and Joseph and the baby Jesus. So the question is really, what is an essential oil? So essential oil really is that main component of a fruit. So when you take a nice smell of a grapefruit, that great citrusy smell, or if you take a leaf from a mint plant and rub it together, you get that mint smell. That's the essence of it. That's the oil. And so what doTERRA does is they will distract them. So their citrus oils are all steam distilled from the rind of the fruit. Some are extracted from a flower, like rose, the petals of a flower. Some are extracted from leaves or bark or resin, but they are extracted right from the actual plant or the fruit. And doTERRA really takes care at how they distract. They care for the plant, or the oil, I should say, all the way from how the plant is grown and the farmers they do business with, all the way to how it's extracted, maintained, and then transported to us, kind of the end users. And so one reason why doTERRA, there are many other brands out there. Some of you may go to health food stores or use other brands, shop on Amazon.com. One of the reasons why doTERRA, that's personally very powerful for me, is that they do quality testing on their oils. The essential oil market is actually largely unregulated. And so when the founders of doTERRA decided to start, that was one reason they wanted to create this company, was to do it a little better, a lot better, I should say, and have the oils be consistent. So if I buy a bottle of lemon essential oil from doTERRA today, and I buy another bottle a year from now, it's the same quality, consistent product. And so what you're getting in a bottle is that pure oil. You're not getting any chemicals, additives, pesticides. I can't guarantee that with any other bottle or essential oil from another company, even that which you might get from a health food store. So today, when we talk about doTERRA and anywhere in this class, and we talk about usage, it is about doTERRA's products only. The other reason is that doTERRA sources right from where that oil is indigenous to. So I mentioned grapefruit. I love grapefruit. I actually put grapefruit oil in my water every day, and they source it from Florida. So when we think grapefruit, we always think Florida. Lavender is sourced from the Mediterranean because that is where it best grows. So it's not grown in a greenhouse in the middle of somewhere with soil that is not the best for, and the climate that's not best for that plant or fruit or tree. The other thing, the one last thing I like to say is that they do co-impact sourcing. You can actually go on their website and learn more about their co-impact sourcing, but they do, they are in partnership with the farmers, no matter where the farmers are, whether it's in Florida here, whether it's in Somaliland where they get their frankincense, but they are in direct partnership and do fair trade with them. So one thing I really want to talk about is essential oil safety. So again, whenever we talk about how to use these oils, it is doTERRA, because we are going to be talking about internally, and I think I posted in the class really strongly kind of put out there, please do not ingest any other oil. We can't guarantee that those other oils that you may have on your shelf don't have pesticides or chemicals in them if they're not doTERRA. So a couple things using common sense, because it is a pure product. It doesn't have any water, any alcohol, anything in it. Common sense. Keep them out of your eyes, out of places that you don't really want to put foreign objects. Eyes mostly. I will talk about an oil that I actually do put up my nostril, and we'll talk about that for those of us that have seasonal threats and other things going on in our head. But we'll talk about dilution. And that is an essential oil safety also, is that if you are new, especially to essential oils, and if you've never really been using them, is always dilute them, especially if you're using them with somebody who has really sensitive skin. Usually that we talk about for young children, like thin skin, or sometimes the other side, the elderly, who have really, really thin skin. You always want to dilute. And we talk about diluting, we'll talk about using things like fractionated coconut oil or lotion. We'll kind of get into that. The other thing is, we're in at least I'm in the Northeast right now, and we don't have much sunlight at all anymore. We have very little. However, when you are out in the sun, one's kind of safety thing is if you put a citrus oil on, they smell really good. So sometimes I put my favorite grapefruit oil and some plain lotion and put it on because it smells awesome. You don't want to go directly out in the sun. Citrus oils are photosensitive and you can burn. So just be really careful with that. Another sensitivity or safety, I should say, is I always walk around with this. This is actually a glass bottle. It has my water in it. And that's because I put oils and I drink kind of all day. Helps me get some water in. And citrus oils, especially if they're put in plastic or styrofoam, they will leach the chemicals out. And that's the last thing we want to do. Now, we're turning to essential oils for natural solutions. The last thing we want to do is be putting chemicals into our body. So for safety's sake, always if you're going to ingest oils, please use a glass. That is the safest way to do that. So a couple of you mentioned that you use diffusers, and we'll talk about different ways that we can actually deliver the oils into our bodies and into our families' bodies. So a couple of you mentioned diffusers. I have one going right here. Turn it the other way. There we go. So this is actually one of doTERRA's. This was my original diffuser. It's been going, it goes every day, several times a day. And I've had it for over 2 years. So the one thing, and then I will say, the thing that's really cool about it is you can shut the light off. So at night when I have it going, you can shut the light off. But diffusing is a great way to get oils into yourself, into your loved ones. Aromatically, anytime that we inhale something, it reaches our brain within 22 seconds. So diffusing is a great way to support emotionally. So, you know, if it's needs kind of calming down at night, a lavender-based, Kayla talked about Serenity, calming down, diffusing at night. I will also often diffuse during the day when I'm working. There's some oils to kind of help support being awake and alert. And other ways is that, you know, having a diffuser, it purifies the air. We'll talk about some oils that you can purify air, but citrus oils are great for that. It's also a great way to support the immune functions of ourselves and of our loved ones. Diffusing it gets kind of everywhere. So if you have an office, whether it's in your home or you kind of leave your home to go to an office, the great thing about diffusing is that it gets everywhere. It can get into the keyboards and all the nooks and crannies of places that wouldn't necessarily be cleaned. And again, it supports emotionally and can really help to affect mood. And also, you know, helps ourselves, but then helps others who may not really know that there may be something in this little kettle, whatever your, you know, pot that you're kind of boiling out. What is that thing? And diffusers come in all shapes and sizes. And the one thing I will say about diffusers, be really careful and make sure when you're buying one, don't just grab one off a shelf from any store. They need to be medical grade plastic. All the doTERRA diffusers are medical grade plastic. And again, it gets back to what I was saying about citrus oils, and that over time, if it is a lesser grade plastic, you're diffusing chemicals into the air and it's going to break down. So just be really, really careful about which diffusers that you do buy. And topically. So topically, oils can be applied different ways, right to the skin. Some can be applied neat. Others need to be cut with an oil. So we often recommend fractionated coconut oil. If you don't know what that is, it's coconut oil, but it's been the fats have been fractioned off. So it is always in a liquid state. And I did not bring mine up. I feel really bad. But we'll talk about different roller bottles, and roller bottles have some oil, essential oil, and then they also have fractionated coconut oil in them. And the reason why that coconut oil is used the most is because it is, it's greaseless, it absorbs very quickly. Sensitive skin is not bothered by it. You can use it for all skin types. So it's really a very safe oil to use. You can also get a plain lotion, as long as it's a plain lotion, unscented, not a lot of stuff in it, and kind of cut and dilute your essential oil that way. And then a great way topically we'll talk about, but topically a great way to apply oils, especially to those of you that have children, is to the base of their little feet. So internally, I did mention that please do not use any oils that you might buy from somewhere else that are not doTERRA internally. So a couple ways. One, I talked about my water bottle. Oh, thanks, Kayla, posting the fractionated coconut oil. Talked about my water bottle. Sorry, my hair, I need a haircut. That's really bad. And another way to do it is to go ahead and deliver them in a veggie cap. So a veggie cap is just made of cellulose, veggies. And what it is, let me grab one whole one for you, is it's literally just there we go. So it's an empty capsule that you can open up, and then you would just put oils in and then take it internally. We'll talk about different ways that you can do that, but certainly you can do that to support your immune system, hormones for us females, in different ways. Also, seasonal threats. There's a kind of a nice, powerful combo we'll talk about that you can take internally. And so taking anything internally can help support digestive system, stomach, throat, immune, booster, liver, detoxing, cleansing the organs, things like that. Okay, so let's get into some oils. And I really wish we had smell-o-vision, because it's tough for me to be talking about these and not being able to kind of pass these around. So the first one we're going to talk about is lavender. I have to do this backwards. This is so weird. So much fun. Lavender. So lavender I call like the gateway oil. Most people love the smell of lavender. Not everybody, but most people love the smell of lavender. They've used it before. You might have a lavender scented lotion, shampoo, laundry soap. There's so many right now. The one thing to know is that when you do, if you haven't had a chance to smell doTERRA's lavender, you will be surprised at how powerful it is and how very strong it is. If you are used to having just like lavender lotion over the counter, that actually is fake lavender. It's synthetic. It's actually made from corn. It is not real lavender. So a lot of people have said, ooh, I'm allergic to lavender. I haven't tried this lavender lotion. It could be because it's corn-based. It's not even real lavender. So what is lavender good for? Well, we know it's great for relaxation. It's great to put in the diffuser, at night. Certainly put it on even 15, 20 minutes before you or your loved one goes to bed, kind of get the room smelling of lavender, get that scent in there. So, we know lavender as a calming. So we know it as emotionally calming. It's also calming for the skin. If you have a burn, if you're like me, I don't really like to cook. So when I do try to get things out of the oven, I typically burn my hands. And so all I do is I take 1 drop of lavender and I put it on the burn, and it takes the burn right away and it heals very, very quickly. I will put it on a couple times, usually like 3 or 4 days by the time it really kind of goes away. But that is one way, is to take away a burn. So that includes sunburn. Again, I wish, I can't wait for the winter to be over already here in the Northeast. But if there is a little bit of a sunburn, putting some lavender on and some plain lotion or a carrier oil. We talked about fractionated coconut oil, but honestly, you could also use, if you have really good quality olive oil on your counter, you can use olive oil to deliver it like that as well. You can also use lavender in cooking. If you have a really great shortbread recipe and put like 2 drops of this lavender in the shortbread recipe, it's amazing. It is so wonderful. Lavender is also really good for balancing hormones. So no matter what age we are, it will help to balance hormones. And so this is one that you can take internally. You probably can't see it, but what I'll do is I'll post afterwards, either later tonight or tomorrow. But when you look on the bottles, it's hard to see, of doTERRA, right here it actually says essential oil supplement. With the word supplement, that's how you know you can take it internally. So I'll just actually put it behind my tongue, or I'll put it in my water. And this is, everyone that I'm showing you, this is a 15 milliliter bottle, and there are 250 drops in here, and each drop is 60 milligrams. So I personally take 2 drops a day, 120 milligrams, to help balance my hormones. So that is lavender. And lemon. So lemon is overall just a really good cleansing oil. And so we can think of the cleansing in a couple of ways. One, great for cleaning. Anything that you might need to clean that's especially sticky, greasy, stains on clothes. It makes a wonderful glass cleaner. You can put a drop of lemon into like a drop or two into a 16-ounce glass bottle with about a quarter cup of white vinegar and fill it with water, and it's instant glass cleaner. It's phenomenal. Another way to cleanse is your body and your organs. You know, we put our bodies through a lot. We ingest a lot. And so kind of doing a routine cleansing of our liver and even our kidneys is a really great thing. And so lemon, 1 drop of lemon, first thing in the morning in a bottom of a glass. Fill the glass up. Hopefully it's at least 8 ounces, and drink that down. You know, if that's the first thing you're doing to your body in the morning and kind of giving it that nice kind of like call it lemon love, you're starting your day off right, and you're starting off, you know, being hydrated. If you've had 8 hours of sleep, we hope you've had 8 hours of sleep, you have not been drinking for a long time, and so you want to rehydrate your body when you first wake up, you know, in the morning. Lemon's another one that's also great for cooking. You know, you can also take your shortbread recipe and put lemon in it. It's also great for, I will put a drop in butter when we have lobsters and dip, you know, the lobster in the nice lemon butter dip. It's phenomenal for that. The next one we're going to talk about is peppermint. So peppermint, and this is powerful, and actually 1 drop of doTERRA's peppermint is actually equal to about 23 cups of peppermint tea. It's really, really, really potent. And so peppermint is a great awakener. So oftentimes, because I'm up very, very early in the morning, many of you might be, and by 3:30, I often need a little pick-me-up. And so what I often do is you can diffuse peppermint. If I'm driving around, I actually have a diffuser in my car. So I'll diffuse peppermint. You can put a drop under your tongue. You can put a drop in your water. Or often you can even just open it up and put a drop right in your hand. Kind of do this, and it also kind of opens everything up and really, really wakes you up. For those of you that work out, I think it was Erin that talked about muscle recovery. Depending on what time you work out, sometimes it's a nice wake up. You put them on the bottom of your feet. Put some peppermint maybe even on your chest, or do that. Put it in your hands and inhale, and really kind of wake you up so before you're going to do your workout. But I will say the combination of peppermint, lavender, and lemon, for those of you that really struggle with seasonal threats, whether they're year-round seasonal threats and you get stuffed up, runny nose, whether they're just kind of, you know, in the fall or in the spring, seasonal threats. The combination of lemon, lavender, and peppermint is a big powerhouse. So how you can deliver that to support those seasonal threats is diffusing it. Again, you can put 1 to 2 drops in a veggie cap and take those internally a couple times a day. doTERRA also makes something called Tri-Ease, and it is just the lemon, lavender, peppermint in a soft gel. So if that's easier for you, some people are like, yeah, I just want the convenience of just, you know, give me the soft gel as opposed to putting in a veggie cap or doing anything else with it. So I know people that have suffered some pretty serious seasonal threats and have had really good success by just using the oils. So the next one we are going to talk about is the king of oils. So the king of oils is, you can see it, it's hard, frankincense. So frankincense it's an extremely ancient oil. You know, as we're nearing the holiday season, you know, they talk about the baby Jesus, frankincense, myrrh, gold were brought. Frankincense is great for cellular health. So if it was the baby Jesus, it was likely to put around the umbilical cord to heal Mary as well as to heal the baby around that area. At its very core, frankincense turns off bad cells and turns on good cells. So in that respect, frankincense for skin. So you can take frankincense and put a drop in your face lotion. You can make up your own face lotion with some jojoba oil, some aloe vera gel, or some plain lotion, depending on how your skin. But this is great for cellular renewal. You can also take it internally. It is a hormone balancer, but also good for internal cellular renewal. And it's also, for us females, it's excellent to support breast tissue. So while you're doing that check, you know, checking on your breast, you know, kind of feeling around for lumps, bumps, hopefully there's nothing there, what we always suggest is put a couple drops of frankincense and some lotion while you're doing those breast checks every day. And then you're kind of checking your breasts for anything that shouldn't be there, but also applying that frankincense at the same time. So you're really doing a couple of great things for you, and you're doing some good self-care. You know, we're all busy, whether we have human babies, we're doing things for other people, we have fur babies. We're all doing things for other people, and this is a great self-care tool. But it is, again, if you do anything else, frankincense in your face lotion and when you're doing your breast check. It is an oil emotionally that really supports to calm yet uplift at the same time. For that reason, it's used in a lot of spiritual practices and a lot of religious practices. It's also used by a lot of people in yoga. So before they get on their mat, they will often, you know, take a drop in their hands and inhale, take a couple, maybe 3 or 4 really deep inhales before they get on their mat to support themselves kind of emotionally and center and ground themselves. And so this would be a great oil to diffuse for that situation. You can diffuse it with lavender and really ground yet uplift at the same time. And uplifting, not that you're going to be awake like peppermint and you're going to want to go, go, go. So it can be diffused at night. It is a really great oil to diffuse, especially for infants and babies. And while I'm on that subject, when you are diffusing for a baby or infant, and I'm going to say anywhere from like 1.5 years younger, You don't want to have the diffuser right in the room. The diffuser that I showed you covers 330 square feet. So if you think the average bedroom, that's a lot to cover. So what we suggest is take the diffuser and just put it right outside the door in the hallway. Frankincense is a really great one. Lavender is a really great one for babies at night. Serenity, Kayla uses Serenity, is also another really great one. And Melaleuca. So Melaleuca is tea tree oil. It's used in a lot of cleaning. And so since we're on babies, a really great diaper cream that my friends tell me about because I don't have babies, but is using coconut oil, a couple drops of Melaleuca, and a couple drops of lavender, and that's it. And I believe it's on doTERRA's blog, and I can post the recipe for you later. But Melaleuca is a great kind of cleaning, cleansing oil. It's great for nail health, so putting it on your hand nails, your toenails. It can also be really good for immune support. So it could be taken internally. It is an oil that not a lot of people like the taste of it, so that would be one that you definitely want to put in a veggie cap before you take internally. Diffusing it in a diffuser, really great for supporting during seasonal threats. So you could be taking that lemon, lavender, peppermint internally, diffusing some Melaleuca. Also, you know, in an area like a bathroom, Melaleuca would be a great to diffuse. Great in a spray bottle with some water. Couple drops of Melaleuca, fill it up with water, and spray your shower, spray your sinks. It's just a really great cleansing. Spray your toilet. One of my favorite, if you have a favorite toilet bowl cleaner, is baking soda, white vinegar, Melaleuca, and lemon oil, and that's it. And it seems to just do a remarkable job on cleaning toilets, which is not the best job in the world, but we all know we have to do it. So, and it can also be used without being diluted. You can put it right on your skin. And oregano. So oregano is one of the oils that is considered a hot oil. So oregano, thyme is in an oregano family. It always has to be diluted. You can put it on your skin. I would never suggest that you put a hot oil, which is an oregano, a thyme, a cinnamon, on an infant skin, on a young skin, or an elderly skin. Anybody that has sensitive skin, because it is hot. So for those of us that are adults, I would say, you know, certainly maybe 3, 4, 5-year-olds older, this can be used for immune support, taken internally. 1 drop is really all you need, and I would definitely use a veggie cap. I made a mistake once of, I thought it was a different oil, and I dropped it back, and it was oregano. It was hot. So it happens. If anything like that ever happens, whether you put a hot oil on your skin or you take it internally accidentally, grab your bottle of olive oil or fractionated coconut oil and put the oil. The oil will cut it, and we'll start to take it off. And I think I downed about a half a cup of fractionated coconut oil to help with my throat. So just be really, really careful. But it can also be added to your spray bottle of Melaleuca when you spray down your bathroom. You can also use it in cooking. It is so powerful, though. What we recommend is when you use it in cooking, so when you open it up, you'll see there's this orifice here, right? And a toothpick will fit right in there. If you're going to use it for cooking, we recommend that you take a toothpick, you put it in, and then you swirl it, like if you're making sauce or soup, you swirl that toothpick in. You don't need a lot. You just really, really need just a little bit. And the other thing is that it's also great for, I will make up a roller bottle. I have it here somewhere. So one way to deliver oils is, this is a roller bottle that I made up myself. So there's a stainless steel roller on it. This top does come off, and I filled it with, it has like 2 or 3 drops of oregano, 2 or 3 drops of melaleuca, and On Guard, which we'll talk about very soon. Then I filled it up with fractionated coconut oil to the top. And what I do is every night, I've been doing this since like September, I roll this on the bottom of my feet to help with immune support. It will also help if anybody's prone to any warts or any nail fungus or foot fungus, it will help with that as well. And breathe. Breathe is next. So some of you talked about some colds, some seasonal threats. Breathe is really good for opening up those airways and literally helping you breathe again. So a couple ways. It is a blend, and it is not something to take internally at all. So diffusing it is a really great way to deliver it. I know Kayla talked about putting it in some fractionated coconut oil, putting it on the chest for a child to help kind of open those airways. That's a great way to do that. So doing it with you don't have to have fractionated coconut oil. If you have just the hard coconut oil in the jar, that you can do that as well. Kind of take that oil, put a drop or 2 in your hands. You can rub it on, on their backs. Their lungs are in their backs as well. Kind of open up the airways here and their chest. And then rub it on the bottom of their feet. Rubbing it on the bottom of their feet really helps deliver it to their entire body and really helps to kind of open all passageways up. And if you are somebody who, maybe you like to run, but you kind of feel some difficulty in breathing when you're running, that one thing I suggest is that put it on your feet before you go out for a run. Or even if you feel like you have some maybe cardio-induced stuff going on, maybe if you're going on the treadmill, I call it, put it on your feet before. It really kind of helps to open up. The other thing I have found with Breathe is that if you have a snorer in your bedroom, if you diffuse this at night, it really helps that. And somebody asked, oh, does it help you sleep or does it help them not snore? And my response was, well, it must be both, because I have no problem falling asleep and neither does he. So I assume that it helps the both of us out. So Breathe is a really great thing to diffuse at night, even if you're not having, or you think any difficulty, breathing. It just kind of clears everything, up overnight. Especially as now, especially in the Northeast, we're closed in for so long and so many months. Breathe is a great oil, and doTERRA makes, I think they touched about it in one of the videos, but doTERRA does make the touch line. So all of the oils that we're talking about, you can buy them in the roller bottle already. You can make them up your own. I tend to be really frugal, so that's why I just buy plain bottles and I make stuff up on my own. That's totally up to you. Like I said, doTERRA, here's a peppermint one. This was a free oil 1 month that I got. It's an easy way to deliver. And kids really seem to like, there's 2 oils specifically that kids just love. One is the Breathe, and they're constantly looking for the roller bottle, because then that empowers them. When they're old enough, that empowers them. They can roll it on the bottom of their feet, roll it on their chest before they go to bed. One other way that seems to really help is with alertness. And so and attention and focus. Some people have had really good success using it with their children. The next oil, and I think the second one that my friends' children, my neighbors' kids constantly come down knocking on the door asking for a refill, is Digest Zen. So Digest Zen is the digestive blend, and it's really to help anything digestive. So that's from, oh, my tummy just doesn't feel really well, I'm not really sure why it doesn't feel well, to, oh, I had that really big meal, that's why my tummy doesn't feel well. It opens up mucous membranes. So the other interesting thing is, if you have, or yourself, if you have diarrhea, if you ingest some, or it's either just one drop or roll it on your belly. So if it's a child, I always suggest in a roller bottle, have them roll it right on their belly, roll it on the bottom of their feet. It will actually brings you back to homeostasis. So whether you have diarrhea or whether there's constipation going on, it just brings everything right back to homeostasis, to, in this case, a normal stool. And it's a great oil to travel with. So we all know when we're traveling, we're not on our schedule, we're not eating the same foods. It might be places where, the water isn't the best to be drinking and you forget. I've been there. And so Digest Zen, if you're an adult, you can take it under your tongue, or you can just take a drop. This can be put on neat, so put a drop right on your belly. You can dilute it in carrier oil as well. But it's a great one, and this is the other one that kids just really, really seem to love. Oh, and I did say there was one oil that I will talk about. When I said earlier, don't put things like in your eyes, maybe up your nose. So Digest Zen, I mentioned it opens up mucous membranes. Personally, I don't really have any digestive problems or issues. So it's an oil, when I first was into doTERRA, just didn't use it that much. And then I realized if it opens up mucous membranes, and a lot of my seasonal threat issues really are that I get, my sinuses get backed up and they clog. And I have a lot of pain and pressure. So I actually will take a Q-tip and at the end of it, turn it upside down so it gets one drop in it, and swab the inside actually of my nasal cavity on both sides. And when that does happen, everything opens right up. You can dip the Q-tip first in coconut oil, fractionated coconut oil or any other oil, and then put a drop on to dilute it. But that's how I use mine, and several people have said that really works for them. On Guard. So On Guard is one of my favorite oil blends. I think I've been using it every day since August or September, just to get ready to help build up my immunity and my, to help support my body in that way. So On Guard is the protective blend. It's this beautiful combination of clove and wild orange and cinnamon. So it smells, if any of those sound great, it smells amazing, amazing, amazing. Best way to deliver this is a diffuser. Everybody in the household benefits. My car, I diffuse it in my car. Everybody in the car benefits. If you have an office, everybody in the office benefits. Another way is that I will put a drop or two in my water throughout the day, and I will drink it internally. You can put it in a veggie cap. And then I also mentioned when I made up this roller bottle, you can put it, it comes in the touch roller bottle, or you can make one up yourself. So I added On Guard to my roller bottle, mostly because it smells really good. Oregano isn't the best smelling on the bottom of your feet at night. And On Guard just makes it smell a little better. Plus it has that immune boosting as well. So that's a great way to deliver it. But I also, this is my general household cleaning spray. I have a 16-ounce bottle that I put 5 drops of On Guard and fill the rest up with water and clean the whole house. My granite countertops, my stainless steel, the floor, everything. I will also, you know, spray down the sinks, the toilets. Also, and doTERRA has a whole On Guard line. I will say they have On Guard laundry soap, which I will reserve for my nasty, stinky gym clothes, especially all, you know, that bacteria from the sweat that starts to probably grow in my clothes that I don't think about. On Guard, you can also, if you just wanted to, you can add a drop to your laundry. You can, you know, add a drop to a bucket of water and clean your floor. They also make On Guard toothpaste, which is phenomenal. And On Guard, again, mixed with, I had oregano and Melaleuca in here. If you were to put On Guard, oregano, Melaleuca, lemon, and frankincense, about 1 to 2 drops each for yourself as an adult in a veggie cap, we call that kind of the immune bomb. So I will start taking that if I start maybe feeling like I'm like a little bit under the weather and I'm really, really not feeling so great. So I'll start taking that to support my immunity. It's not to say that I won't get sick or you won't get sick if you take it. However, I've noticed that if I do get sick, I'm only sick for maybe a day or two, not a week or two like most everybody else. And the last one. Oh, and I will say one more thing about On Guard. For those of you that do work out, this is my best favorite. Get the Funk Out spray, I call it. I have a little 2-ounce spray bottle in my gym bag filled with water and 2 drops of On Guard, and I will spray down my shoes and all my other wrist wraps and different things that I use for lifting and working out. And it really cuts down the smell because it kind of quells the bacteria. All right, so the last one that we really are going to talk about, well, the last of the Big 12 or Big 10, excuse me, is Deep Blue. So Deep Blue is called the Soothing Blend. So doTERRA has it delivered in a couple ways. So this is the oil, and there is a blue tinge to it, which is why they call it Deep Blue. It doesn't stain your skin, but it is the Soothing Blend. So it comes in, there's this oil, and most kits you'll get this 5 ml bottle of oil. Also the Touch collection, so this is nice. This often goes in my husband's, my husband's lunchbox. So he'll do that. And they also make it really easy for us, and they have it already cut in a lotion. So this is a 4-ounce lotion of Deep Blue rub. So in every 4-ounce tube is 1 bottle of this. So this is great to have, you know, in your purse, in your gym bag, on the counter, wherever you might need it. But Deep Blue, I will say, it is really good for pain, inflammation. If we're going to talk about working out, one thing you can do is put it on the bottom of your feet pre-workout. And a lot of people will only use it post-workout. But we have found that when you do it pre-workout, it actually helps prevent some of those aches and pains and lessens them a little bit at the end. For some of you with maybe acute pain, maybe you need a little more muscle recovery, or maybe there is something going on in your rotator cuff, in your knee, and some other joint. What we found is that if you take the oil and you actually open it up and you put a couple, I always point to my rotator cuff because I constantly have nagging pains with it. But when it does flare up and it's really painful, put a couple of drops of the oil on, take a warm compress, whatever that is, you know, a heating pad or, you know, a washcloth that is got some hot water, you know, on it that's not going to burn your skin. Put the oil on, put the warm compress on for 20 minutes. And what that warm compress does is it actually drives that oil into that joint or that whatever that area is that really needs that support. And then usually it's okay, but what happens is then after 20 minutes, I will put just a little bit of lotion on that area for extra added kind of support. I don't need it all the time. Usually the rub actually works fine. However, during those times of really kind of acute, harsh pain, the oil is really very helpful to that. The other way that it is really helpful for is that time of the month when we have cramps. If you take Deep Blue, whether it's the oil or the lotion or, you know, the roller bottle, roll it on, you know, your stomach area. I will add often a drop of lavender to it and then rub it kind of all over. I have found that it really helps pretty quickly within like 10 to 15 minutes. And I've personally found that I don't have to take any ibuprofen or painkillers or anything, you know, anymore. I just really rely on the Deep Blue. As a side note, I didn't bring it up with me today, but Deep Blue also has a polyphenol complex, which is an internal supplement that you can take to help reduce inflammation internally. And so for anyone who does have some chronic pain, inflammation going on, you know, that's a great way to reduce that internally, you know, as well. So I'm just going to touch on a couple of things. If you've watched the videos, if you haven't, please watch the ones. We have ones posted for mamas and babies. That's the Empowered Life series, and for athletes as well. They talk a lot about the lifelong, can I see? Yep, it's up there. The Lifelong Vitality Pack. So the Lifelong Vitality Pack is really a core and a base that is a whole food supplement and an omega. And then the Alpha CRS is a cellular renewal complex. I personally didn't believe in a lot of supplements because I took them in and then I was, let's be honest, I was peeing bright yellow. That's all I was peeing. And I drink a lot of water through the day. So, you know, I thought, well, I'm wasting my money. Somebody dared me to try them probably about a year ago, maybe a year and a half ago. And I've been hooked ever since. I saw a huge improvement. I wasn't peeing out, you know, yellow. So I felt like I wasn't peeing out the product. And I saw a huge improvement in some pain management and different things like that. And the great thing about the Lifelong Vitality Pack, if you're not satisfied, as long as you have one capsule of each, you can return them and they give you your money back. So that's a lovely thing. The other thing I want to talk about is Kayla had mentioned in the class, Serenity. Here's a little bottle of Serenity. Serenity is just a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful blend. I do typically diffuse it every night with some Breathe, some other oils, but it's a beautiful calming blend. Whether you know, whether you're a mom and you need some sleep, whether your child needs some sleep, whether you're an athlete and you know that, you know, sleep is part of training and you really need to get some good whole sleep in, you know, at least 8 hours. My body honestly prefers 9 or 10. And Serenity is a really nice, gentle oil. Love the way it smells. Another great one is Balance. And Balance, it's really hard to see. Balance is a grounding blend, and it smells like a forest. It smells absolutely wonderful. I wish it was like smell-o-vision right here. That'd be awesome. So Balance is a great one before you go off for your day, before the children go off to school, It's a great one to kind of rub on the bottom of their feet before you send them out. You could rub some balance and some On Guard on the bottom of their feet and your feet before you go out for the day. So you're kind of grounded, but you also have some immune support at the same time. And then another one I will say is, so one great thing about doTERRA is they are very conscientious about the sustainability of harvesting a product. And so we talked about, I've posted a couple things that doTERRA doesn't have white fur anymore, because white fur is talked about. And that is because it's not a sustainable practice anymore. So they have chosen not to continue with white fur, and they have replaced it with Siberian fur. And so those of us as athletes have used white fur a lot for muscle inflammation, recovery. We were very sad. We had a little funeral for white fur, to be honest with you. And then we got Siberian fur, and we are so beyond thrilled. A friend of mine who's actually a massage therapist said this is the first month that it's out. She said that she is through her second bottle of Siberian fur, and she actually has spouses calling up her and saying, I don't know what you put on my spouse, but whatever it is, I want it, because they are pain-free, amazing, they love it, and they smell good. So besides some reducing inflammation, it's also really good to ease anxious feelings. So it has a calming effect on emotions as well as physiologically on the body. So I'm going to show you just two more of my favorite oils and I'll be done. One is Peace. So Peace is a great one to put over your heart. Sometimes as we near this, the holiday season is a beautiful season, but it can also be chaotic. And it can also bring up a lot of memories and a lot of things that can be very challenging for some of us emotionally. And so diffusing peace, putting it over your heart, however you start your day, however you center yourself, whether it's through prayer or meditation, putting peace on, taking a nice deep breath is a great way to do some beautiful self-care for yourself before you go out and start caring, for others. And the last one that we'll talk about is Clary Calm. Clary Calm is a hormone balancer. And so for females, they can take it by rolling it on their wrists, rolling it on your stomach. It does help with some cramping. But I do every day. I put a drop on my wrists and a drop behind my ears. We used to talk about using Clary Calm cautiously, using Clary Sage, which is in here, cautiously, or I should say not at all, if you are pregnant. And so if you watch the mama and babies video, and then I've since spoken with a midwife who uses doTERRA as well, the issue with Clary Sage is this, which is in Clary Calm. Clary Sage helps to really strengthen contractions, right? So my personal just suggestion is that if you are high risk pregnancy, you might want to just be careful with it, stay away from it. If you do use it sparingly. However, when you are ready for that baby to evacuate, when you are ready, it's time to come, Clary Sage or Clary Calm can be rolled on your belly and really help to have a really successful childbirth. So there has been a lot of kind of back and forth with that. However, what we're hearing now is that Clary Sage really isn't as bad as what we thought it was. But again, my personal caution is if you do have a high-risk pregnancy, you might want to just stay away from it during that time. So we've been going at it for like an hour, and I could talk forever and ever. I do want to thank you. This is my first Facebook class. Usually I'm used to some interaction. It's going to be really fun watching myself after this. If you have any questions whatsoever, there's so much to learn. I'm sure there's things that I forgot to talk about. Please feel free to post the questions, reach out to Kayla, reach out to myself. The class will be open through Wednesday. So during that time, really think about how and what oils do I want to get into my home. And really the way that you get them into your home is that a couple ways. One, you can buy retail. We posted Kayla's website. You go right to her website and you can buy retail. The smartest way to do it, honestly, is to buy them at wholesale. doTERRA works very similar to a Sam's Club or a BJ's wholesale membership. Their first year membership is $35. Second year and every year thereafter, it's $25. But you get a free bottle of peppermint, which is valued at $27. So there you go. So you could either pay the $35 and shop a la carte. The most economical way is to purchase what we call an enrollment kit. So there are some enrollment kits that cover all the oils that we just talked about, the first 10 that I talked about, with the Breathe and the On Guard, Peppermint, Melaleuca, some that come with this diffuser, which is great. Some that come in bigger bottles and smaller bottles. But that's really the kind of the most economical way. And again, if you're like, no, I really want, that Clary Calm, or I want some of the lotion, you can absolutely shop a la carte after you do your membership. And Kayla or I are more than happy to help you through that. So we hope you get the oils in your home. And what we will probably end up doing is doing a kind of a 102, maybe in a month or two, depending on the holidays, after everybody kind of gets the oils in their home, to talk about, okay, now that you have them, what do you do with them? So have a great evening, everyone, or morning if you're watching this on Monday morning, and take care.